So based on the information I'm getting, one, we're looking at more than $200,000 to actually complete this realignment of pipe on the south side. That's one. Number two, we're looking at hiring laborers, 3 additional laborers to come assist in this particular project, or to assist in the water department. We move those people to that particular project. It sounds like this has been discussed in your in your water department committee meeting.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And in public works, yes.
Public works, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
And the recommendation as far as, as far as the committee, as far as where we're going with this, I mean, was everything discussed, talked about? Because, of course, I wasn't there.
The contract, everything has been worked out.
Okay.
In fact, the 6 laborers should have appeared at Public Works either yesterday or today.
The what now? The
Because
who?
we're hiring 6 laborers.
Not 3.
And no, wait a minute, wait. 6 laborers for Public Works to cut grass and weed eat for the summer.
Oh,
Because we have so much grass and stuff to keep up.
Right.
And when the time is appropriate, then we will hire 3 more to send to the water department to help with the laying of the water pipe.
Okay,
And they're all from the same company.
okay, all right. Okay, all right.
Did that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
I believe council
Council?
made a motion last second.
Oh, you did?
I just now did.
Okay.
I believe he made a motion before I asked my question.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. That concludes our agenda items. Next is public comments to the council. Any public comments? If anyone have any public comments you need to make to the council, please state your name and address in 2 minutes, please.
Okay, my name is Jeff Bryan. I live at 2100 4th Avenue South. I guess this is more towards Donald Pike. We talked about the quiet zone over and over and over. Can you let us know about where we stand on that?
Absolutely. I'm waiting on Mr. Bishop to get back with me on the action list. He was going to get some crowdfunding sources, and I'm going to take the city's part, the letter of intent, the letter of establishment. I have put our city engineer on hold until I can get, some information back from Mr. Bishop, because I need to know where the funding is going to come from, for that. But our city engineer is ready, and he will be doing the traffic studies. He will be doing studies about the one-way, telling me how much it's going to cost to strike the road, put the signs up, and it's a, comparatively speaking, it's a fairly easy process. We're going to turn 20th Street into a one-way across the railroad tracks.
I understand what we're doing, but last time we talked, if I'm not mistaken, we were told that the city was going to get the numbers together and talk to Norfolk Southern and see how much they would cost and everything. And Mr. Bishop had talked about possibly getting crowdsourced funding started to pay once we see what those are, to where we would know how much to set up the crowdsourced funding for. So if you don't know those numbers up front, how do you set up?
Well, you're exactly right. I agree. But since I didn't get a response, I thought we were all working in this together.
Okay.
And so I don't mind getting our city engineer to give me some hard numbers.
Okay.
We already have the numbers from Norfolk Southern. It's going to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Bishop, $30,000 for the box.
We have nothing in writing. That according,
They said at the meeting,
Yes,
20
Mr.
20 or
Drake did say
22.
that.
that's what Mr. Drake said. Mr. Drake said
Yeah, he
it'll be
also
about
said-
$20,000 for it. And what the next step in the process is that we get those numbers. We get Norfolk Southern to say, here's how much it's going to cost to put this light in. $20,947. We need those particular numbers. They were asked for 4 weeks ago, the council meeting after the public hearing that we had, and it is in your it's in your side to get me those numbers. What it's going to cost from our engineering side and what's going to cost from the Norfolk Southern side. Once you have that solid number of $40,000, 497 cents, or whatever it is, at that point we can start looking at doing the crowdsource funding. This has been left in your court.
Well, let me ask you this. You have made the statement that you wanted the quad gates, which are going to be $400,000.
But that has nothing to do with that. That was in the past. At the last public hearing, we had a decision made to go forward with the one-way street. At that point, it was stated that we need the hard numbers. The week after that,
To ask you, and
the only email I've gotten from you in the past 3 weeks.
I have it on my email, but it doesn't matter.
Let me do this. Councilor Pike, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
this seems like a quiet zone, meeting with questions,
We'll
I
discuss
guess.
No, it's
If
just,
this could be handled in a separate setting, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it. Any other public comments? Yes, sir.
Pete Cry, 5004 Darlene Circle. I'd like to commend the Exchange Club. Last night, they had a congressional forum for the 6th District. All the Republican candidates were there, except one. And I'd like to commend the Public Works Department over on my cul-de-sac. A culvert on the other side and a ditch wall collapsed. It turned into a pretty big project. But I've been walking over looking at it, and they put out hay and grass seed, so they got through. But they had to cut down trees, rebuild a wall. It was quite a thing. But anyway, the road that the culvert that goes under the cul-de-sac on the far side had collapsed and was going to cause a real bad problem. Speaking of public works, the 12 years I served on the council, I got to know Delane Davis real well, the head of public works. He's retiring, and I think that's going to be big shoes for the city to fill. He, in my opinion, made this a better city, and I wish him well. I consider him a friend. I've got to work with him for 12 years, and I've stayed in touch with him since then quite a bit, so that's all.
Okay.
Any other public comments?
Is that on agenda items on?
Any public comments to the council, just in general?
It's anything.
General comments, Tim.
Yeah.
My name is Tammy Caldwell. I live at 5001 Collar Road. My father is Major Alan Caldwell, who lives at 5009 Caldwell Road. You all know him very well. He's very well known in the city. He has many friends, as I thought. Last November 23rd, last year, he fell. He was in therapy. I come down and let everyone know. We called him and talked to him. We're not sure how much longer we have with our father. I hope another year, maybe 6 months, I don't know. I don't come to you for monetary means. My father's a very proud American. He served in the Korean War. We have called churches in Irondale that we used to go to. We called the Veterans Administration. They told us that we'll put you on the list. He's on the list. My hopes are that maybe the word might get out for volunteers that would have a good heart, Christian heart, that may want to come to help my father do some repairs on his house. My family and I are staying around the clock with Dad. He would know you, and sometimes he wouldn't know you. I've cried, I've begged, I've pleaded. I know there's other people here that are probably worse off than I am. We're not asking for, like I said, money. We're asking for help. We've run out. We've run out of, there used to be a time when you could be proud to live in your city. There used to be a time when you could ask your neighbor. There used to be a time when people waved at you. That's not anymore. I used to be proud of my city. I'm not anymore. I like my council people. I like the firemen. I like the police officers. As far as people that live in Irondale, people who I thought, and I'm not speaking of you all, people who I thought were my father's friends scattered. And we asked him, could they come and hammer nail? Sit for a minute with him. Talk with him. My dad, for the last 40-something years of his life, gave of his time, volunteered, gave money, and there's nobody out there to help. So I just asked that y'all could get the word out to churches that we used to go to. One of the biggest churches in Irondale that I thought would help sent me an email today saying, sorry, we're working on a road. Great, I'm glad you are there. Could you at least make an announcement for volunteers? We don't ask for money. We're just asking for volunteers. We were told today that it's gonna cost $800 for my father to get down to VA. Insurance will not pay for it. Not that that's your concern, I don't ask for it to be. Maybe there's a volunteer EMT out there that could take my bedridden father. And a school bus maybe. I don't care. We're trying to get him down to VA so he can be seen. So that's all. I thank you very much.
I want to make one comment before we adjourn this meeting. I've asked Brandon, I've asked our other city attorney to give me an update on the charges that was filed against the former CDA members based on the information that we received, the investigation. I did get an update. The ethics department, they're still investigating. They are on it. Hopefully, a decision will come down soon as far as any ethics charges that will be assessed. And we will get that information out to everyone concerning the former members that served on the CDA that spent money, misappropriated funds based on the findings that we have. So just want to give everyone an update as far as what's going on. Any other questions, councilors? Meeting adjourned.